Entrepreneurs are people who can turn ideas into reality. People with a desire to do things for themselves. In the process, they create employment and generate wealth for themselves and others. Who are these people? Maybe you're one. Entrepreneurs are everyday people, but they show a streak of independence and creativity. They can be found anywhere, and they can be any age.
If you think it's going to succeed, don't give up if somebody tells you, no, this is not going to work, or there's no chance of it going ahead. If you believe in what you're doing, then go ahead and push it. You will find somebody eventually who'll go along with you. You got to believe in what you want to do, what you want to build, or what you want to manufacture, or what you want to sell. And then you got to have the perseverance to go out and make people understand what you're trying to do, what the concept is. Kilroy Resort encompasses about 22.5 acres of land in Swift Current. It's a tourism operation. We run 8 chalet-style cabins, the largest ones in Newfoundland, and 21 trailer sites, as well as a 31-foot tour boat, convenience store, gas bar, takeout, swimming pool. It's a full-service tourist resort. In our first year, we recorded a 95% occupancy rate for the summer season, the main summer season. We're running around 80% occupancy on the weekends throughout the year. It's a 4-season resort. We're open 12 months of the year. So the early returns look good.
This is a platform that you stand on, and right underneath the platform is the heat exchanger. Let me just get this out of the way. Inside the copper tubing is the fresh water, fresh cold water, and it's picking up all the heat from the shower and putting it back into the system. And that way we're recovering 75% of the heat out of this drained water.
So in many ways, entrepreneurs are quite a diverse lot of people. Still, they have many things in common with each other, and perhaps with you. You don't have to be a tycoon to be an entrepreneur, but there are some qualities you do need. Which ones? Here are what some successful entrepreneurs had to say.
You just got to have the willpower, I think, to be able to work at it and don't give up when, things go wrong. Just got to keep it going.
You've got to be, self-motivated. You've got to be courteous with your customers. You've got to be friendly. You've got to be, I think, straight with them, up front, no saying one thing and mean something else.
I think the main quality is determination. If you have an idea and you really believe that idea, could feasibly turn into a good business for yourself, give it a try. But I do think you have to be determined, because there is a lot of rocky road, and very easily to get discouraged and say, well, I can't do it. But I don't think you should take that attitude. I think you should give it a good try.
Well, you got to be, for this project, for example, you got to be very creative. And you got to look for new things, because as you well know, the economy is in Canada and Newfoundland is not that stable. So you have to sort of start something different and hope for the best type thing. It's hard to really say. I guess the qualities you need is just being able to go out and try something different.
An entrepreneur, I suppose, sometimes is created out of a necessity. First of all, it may be a person who's unemployed, who needs a job, and has an idea that could possibly work and works on that sort of theory.
These are just some of the traits that entrepreneurs have identified as being necessary for success. What kinds of qualities do you think you need? How do you know if you have what it takes? A number of local people have decided to take a chance on a new venture. Here's how they feel about what it takes to launch out into something new.
You certainly can't be laying back and ask for something and expect that it's going to come just like that. If you're not out there willing to, you got to be, as far as I'm concerned, really pushy, really determined, believe in what you're doing, and go after it. Don't take no for an answer. With a declining fishery, I think, and I'd be safe in saying that the people in an area like this or in coastal Labrador is looking at people like myself and other community people, entrepreneurs who want to get out there, as willing to go out there and do something. There's an awful lot of support for people like that, right? Because they need the jobs. So therefore, you get the community support. I think we got to have a vision. We got to have some foresight. And in order for us to have foresight, we have to sit down as community leaders, bring our young people into our community halls or whatever, once or twice a year at least, and do some brainstorming. Look at what you got. Look at what your community can handle. Look at where you can take a risk, where there's room for a small business. I think there's more planning going on now since the 90s, since we went in, we turned 19 and 90, than it ever was before, because of the state the economy and the industry is into. People are doing that more so. And it certainly blows me away to sit down and look at it and see what you do have and see what you can have. If there's the average citizen out there gets involved and takes that risk. And it's going to be the young people who's going to take that risk.
Well, first of all, you've got to have a job. You need a job today to survive. And you've got to be a little carefree and take a chance. You've got to take a chance, and you've got to spend some time researching the thing and you know, put a lot of hours into the economics of it and if it's all going to be worthwhile. First of all, you've got to like what you do. That's most important. And then people think you're a little bit crazy. It makes it a little bit worthwhile too. And as one person said to me, your father roll over in his grave if he could somehow know that you are making a living raising worms. I still think that it's a fly-by-night thing. But I like what I do. I like gardening. I like trees, as you can see. And I like working with the soil. And I like working with worms.
Of all the entrepreneurs that I've met in my life, everyone has been a very persistent salesperson. And we often use the terms, you have to be a good marketer, when in fact we're actually saying is that you have to be a good salesperson. And selling is a fundamental element of being successful in any kind of business. In fact, selling is a fundamental element in being success in life.
But to be a success, you have to know where to start. Two things entrepreneurs frequently mention as vital for a successful enterprise are good ideas and the capacity for hard work.
You have to look elsewhere. If you're setting up a gas bar or a convenience store, they're sort of a dime a dozen. I think you have to start something different and find out where this is going to sell.
The main thing I would think is don't look for what somebody else has been successful at. If you're going in there to take half of his business, there's no foundation in that. If you want to do something that nobody else is doing. Make it successful because it's your project and it's new.
By 1980, I realized that the business wasn't down on the south coast, and I decided to move north to St. Anthony. I had some family ties in that area, and I decided to move up here and start Northern Penn. For 8 years, we drove our paper to Grand Falls because of the postal system and the airplanes weren't in place to sort of get our paper in and get it back to us on time. So we used to leave here at around 12 or 1 o'clock. We'd probably finish up the paper, our pay stop. By 3 o'clock, between 3 and 4, we'd be on the road. We'd drive to Grand Falls, then get in there around 10:30 in the morning. We'd start getting ready then to get our paper printed. We'd probably be printed by 5 or 6 in the evening, and then we used to turn around and head back up the coast again. We'd get home around 3 or 4 in the morning. So we basically were 23 hours on the run. But there were trying times. We don't have to work as hard as that had it now, but still, that's the kind of thing you got to do, I guess, if you're going to make it in rural Newfoundland. think the first thing if you're going to go into business, the first thing you got to be is a person who can start himself, a self-starter, I guess is what you call it. It's no good if you're going to go in business for yourself. You can't wait to be called in the morning. You got to be able to get up there and go and do it. You got to want to be your own boss. I mean, there's a lot of people around who are not their own bosses and who have no desire to be their own bosses, because with being an entrepreneur comes a tremendous amount of responsibility. And I could get into what it means to you to go home and know that 8 people are counting on you to have a job from tomorrow morning.
It takes ideas, hard work, and perseverance to become an entrepreneur. But what brings it all together, what makes it all possible, is believing you can succeed. You can do it if you try.
If you believe in what you're doing, then go ahead and push it. You will find somebody eventually who'll go along with you.
I think you can go out there, you can do anything. And when I say do anything, I think you can make a living at anything if you put enough time into it. I think time is the question to anything. And whether it be fishing, or whether it be cutting firewood, or whether it be here sewing tablecloths, I think you could make a living at it. As long as you've got a market, there's 2 key words, the market and your time.
I don't think everybody should be going around crying that that we're in a tremendous state. We do have some difficulties, but I don't think there's anything that can't be overcome if the commitment is there to having people stay in rural Newfoundland.
You don't have to do it all alone. If you've got the idea and the drive, the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency may be able to help. ACOA can offer advice and financial support to help smooth your path for you.
I started off with ACOA. I went to ACOA and talked to one of their development officers in St. John's. He basically gave me the application for ACOA, told me where I should go to, or different places I could go to have a proposal done, a proposal for funding for ACOA. The fact that ACOA paid for part of the proposal. So from that point, I went to the Federal Business Development Bank, to their case office, and was assigned one of their case officers. And between FBDB and myself, we put the main financing proposal together. Without some input and some financial help from agencies like ACOA, it's very hard to make a tourism operation, I won't say a tourism operation fly, a high caliber tourism operation fly.
Entrepreneurship goes at the heart of what ACOA is trying to do in Atlantic Canada, so we're particularly interested in the youth, and to get youth thinking about opportunities in business and starting businesses themselves.